other different types of dementia, and depending upon where the difficulties lie, that in the illness determines the course of treatment.
You can. All you have to do is want to do it.
Yes.
Want to be it.
When you set your mind to it, and this is who you are, and
the grown men. We have the youth that we need to mentor, and we need to inspire, and we need to motivate. But I know, as a recent conversation between you and I, that you're also in the business of motivating grown men. Through that, I'm supposed to see God in it at every turn. So me going to the Sea of Galilee was to remind me of that, to refresh myself of that. It is all under control, that He does have it. It's just as clear as that fresh water that I saw.
You're Our Unity, hosted by LaShawn Walker, Tuesday nights, 6 p.m. EST.
Welcome, everyone, to You're Our Unity, a show that wishes to spread a spirit of peace and love in the world. Life. Push past all of that pain. I want you to use the lessons and the challenges and the obstacles to fuel your strength. Also, I want you to own your truth. That is so important. Embrace your truth. Abate all fear and then choose the life that you were created to have. I am your host, LaShawn Walker. I'd like to welcome you in. Please like, share, and follow. Please share with a friend, tag a friend. Let everyone know that we're on right now. I hope you guys had a wonderful week. It has been very good for me. I finally woke up out of this little malaise that I was in. I was tired for a couple of weeks and exhausted from everything that I had going on and everything that I know that I needed to do. So tell me what you guys have been up to. The fall season is here. It is brisk outside. There's so much going on. There's holidays coming up. Are you busy a day and kind of laying low? I hope that you are, guys, whatever you are doing, that you are doing it with purpose and that you are growing in those tasks as well. It's like I mentioned, I had the COVID cooties for a couple of weeks, my friends, and it was not fun. I, experienced a few things that I've never experienced with the cold before, and it took me out. And in addition to it, it made me sort of sad. Like I was in this emotional state that I've never been in before. And I was depressed for a little while. Now, it's the season of soul, as I mentioned, for the fall season. And, I had an event a few weeks ago, and I wanted to speak to those many challenges that everyone goes through at this time of year. I just wasn't expecting to get the COVID, so it accelerated all of those feelings that I usually have this time of year. So during the Season of Soul Symposium, I had some amazing all face during this time of year. We have to find meaning in who we are on a daily basis. And, unfortunately, this time of year, it's sad for me. I have what they call seasonal depression. And it's sparked by the fact that, I mentioned to you guys many times before that I've experienced some really traumatic deaths in my life from friends, from unknown and unnecessary conditions that are just no longer here. And I've been experiencing this probably for the past 15 to 20 years, just losing people every single year or every other month. So, I have to keep myself, in good spirits on a regular basis. I have to be that sunshine that I'm trying to share with the world. And sometimes it's honestly hard. And these last couple of weeks, in addition to the months to come, a few years ago, and her birthday was just in September. And then my father, I will be actually, I don't want to say celebrating, but I will be having a memorial for my father, 20 years since he's passed, on the 20th of October. So around this time, I get kind of sad. I get kind of down in the dumps. I have low energy. I'm crying all the time, just for the littlest things. I allow myself to go through those emotions, but I realized too also that I have to snap out of it sooner than later, because if I don't, it'll just be a long progression of that sadness, and I won't allow myself to heal from that pain. So I wanted to speak to that today. I wanted to check in with everyone out there, see what you have going on in your world. Are you going through exactly what I'm going through at this time? Are you feeling, a lot of emotions that you don't know where to pack them right now? Or are you used to the feelings and you're just going through them and dealing with them and coping with them the best way you can? Or are you allowing them to take you out? That's what I don't want you to do, is allow them to take you out, to overshadow all the blessings and the beauty that you do have in your life. So it is about transforming your life, transforming your thinking, transforming just everything around you so that you can see the better light, the better path. And in addition, the happiness in all that you've endured. So today it is about just loving on you and taking that time to do that, using that energy to fuel the fire from within yourself. At that event that I had, the Season of Soul, we spoke to that's just that. Keeping that fire lit, maintaining that focus and that drive for a better self, a better you. And you want to see your growth in those things. You want to see yourself changing and evolving. That's what I have been doing. I used to honestly take the day off every year on the 20th and sleep, stay in the bed and just cry and be sad and miserable about the fact that my father was no longer here. I went through years and years of grief until 2016, when I realized I have to celebrate life. You have to look for those bright peaks of sunshine, those great moments of understanding that you are still here for a reason, and that you have to just transcend all of those bad things in your life and use them to fuel you into the life that you were created to have. So that's what I've been doing lately. I now no longer take the day off. I try to take a vacation every now and then if I can on the 20th. Unfortunately, this year I won't be doing it. But the fact is that I'm still living. I'm still enjoying that day. I'm speaking to my father. I'm bringing him back to life on that day and sharing the beauty of what we had when he was here and being grateful for those moments as well. So those are the things that we should be doing at this time. It's figuring out a way how we can better ourselves and move past whatever sadness and whatever is not serving our truer inner self and purpose. So we're going to speak to one of my girlfriends that was actually at this event. This beautiful woman has been in my life for a very, very long time, and she's gone through some changes in her life as well. She had this life, honestly, that I believed every woman would want. She is a beautiful soul and she gives so much. But because of the challenges in her life, she had to make some huge changes. So we're going to speak to that today. And the title of the show, as you saw, is My Evolution. And we're going to be speaking to my beautiful friend, Yvonne Carr. Yvonne is originally from Queens, now living on Long Island. She's a mother of 23-year-old triplets, a customer relations supervisor, and an aspiring author. After 25 years of marriage and a painful divorce, Yvonne went on a self-discovery and self-empowerment journey. She released a lot of her hurt and truth into her book, When Love Goes Wrong. The book helped her gain greater insight into her self-worth and provided her with the strength and inspiration to transform her life and evolve into the phenomenal woman she is today. She is here to discuss her path to me, and that is my evolution. Please help me welcome my beautiful friend, Yvonne Carr. How are you?
Hi, honey.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. I know you're a little under the weather.
Good.
We're not trying to get too close to each other because she know I just got off the cootie COVID train. But I am so glad that you came and you're here to share your story, even in the midst of you feeling a little under the weather.
Can't stop me.
I know that's right. And she has always been that person, my friend. She really has. So again, welcome to the Your Our Unity show. It is a blessing to have you here, especially after that amazing event that we went, that I had and that you attended. And I know that it spoke to you. But before we get to all of that, I usually take my viewers on a journey. So you see this beautiful woman in front of you, and you heard that I mentioned she's been through some challenges and obstacles. You wouldn't know it from the strong woman that stands before you. But tell me a little about your childhood.
Well, I am the baby of 11.
Wow.
Yes, my parents had 11 kids. I am the last, and I was making sure I was the last. Never doing that, okay? But yes, I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens. Very close knit family until we got older, and then everybody did their own separate thing. But it was challenging being the baby of 11 kids.
Wow, I could imagine.
Yes, because it's hard because you can't get your opinion across because everybody else has their opinion.
Right.
And if since you're the last one, your opinion really doesn't matter.
Right. I totally
But
understand.
as me growing up, I realized they more come to me now for opinions and my advice. And I'm the last one. I'm the baby. I should be going to them.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? Maybe because you were not clouded by everyone else's judgment and opinions, you kind of had time as a child to form your own.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I think that that's why now as an adult, they see the wisdom that you gained from being that last child and not being, you know, influenced by everyone else's thoughts and opinions, you know?
Yes, that's definitely true because I remember telling myself that I did not want kids out of wedlock.
Wow.
My sisters had children out of wedlock, and I seen what they went through, and that was one thing I did not want to go through. I didn't want a baby daddy. I didn't want just someone there in and out of their lives. I needed stability, and I thought I had that because we were together for 35 years. So I thought the stability was there.
Yes.
But hey,
Yeah,
you know,
you live and you learn. You live and you learn.
you definitely live and learn.
Exactly. You ain't never lied about that, my friend. Well, again, I mean, you mentioned that you had a plan for your future in terms of being that mother, being that wife. You knew that as a very young age. What were your dreams or your hopes back when you were younger, before you thought about that family and that sort of structure?
My one thing I always wanted to do, I thought I would actually be able to do it because since I didn't have kids at the time,
Right.
I wanted to be, what do you call it? The flight attendant.
Oh wow!
I always wanted to travel, being a flight attendant.
The friendly skies.
Yes, I'm great with people, and I always wanted to do that. But then a lot of stuff came down where you can't. Flying was like, do I really want to do this all the time? Yeah, they're blowing up planes. They're doing this. They're doing that.
Fearful,
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You kind of change your life.
Exactly. It looks beautiful
So,
when you're in the sky and you're transversing and traveling to all these different places. But when it becomes a job, and within that job there's certain casualties that's possible, you won't take it. Yeah, you won't do it.
So I didn't think, as I got older, my life wasn't turning into that side that I wanted to. So I would say, the Lord put this man in my life because we met at work. So he put him in my life right after high school. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, this must be something that he wants me to pursue.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was right after high school.
Right after high school.
So you had found, listen, because we're just literally moving quickly into your 35 years in a relationship.
Right after
you were a baby, honestly, but obviously this person gave you that comfort at that time. And what did you see in your now ex-husband back then that made you want to be with him and then even pursue that relationship for a future?
Well, back then I seen that the younger him was a gentleman. He was always catering to me.
Yeah.
I didn't have to ask for anything or want for anything. not that the money, I cared about the money, but at the same time, it was nice that, you don't have to want for anything,
Right.
just if you want it, it's here, go get it.
Yeah.
And being young at the time, most young girls, they go for that, the bling.
Right.
And the bling is not always what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Because behind that bling, it could be a lot of things. You could have a mass murderer. You can have a narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many
Yep.
behind that bling. And we
Yes.
just have to sort it out.
Right. Right.
Because when I met him,
He was
nothing like he was after 25 years.
Yeah. Well, again, that is also, about what the message is, the changing, the growing, and evolving. You have to want to choose to do those things,
Yes.
So some people just kind of stay stuck and stagnant in their world and their belief that this is the best that their life is going to be also. So you fell in love with this man. Let me tell you something. You were the envy of all the women because you had this caring, considerate, loving man that really did care about just you at that time. This is before you had the triplets.
Yes.
It was literally about Yvonne and her man, and you were go nowhere without him. That's not the man.
No.
But you would
That's
go
the
nowhere.
new one.
That's the new man. Let's keep it together. You can take the picture down. But you was with this your ex-husband, and you just was experiencing every girl's dream. And I really do truly honestly feel that
Until
at
the
that
dream
time.
turned into a
You know what I
nightmare.
mean? And those things happen as well, but it takes time to get there because again, you were doing everything in your power to still also maintain the things that you had hoped to do when you were younger, which is to make sure that you keep your man happy, that you're not having these children out of wedlock, that you're not with a man that is not committed to just you, who loves just you and just wants to be with just you. Like, I feel like you checked off all the boxes before you sort of leaped off that edge with him. You know what I mean? So everything happens for a reason and everything is a blessing.
Sure
You know what I mean?
It
really
sure
is.
does.
So now we have our triplets, which is amazing. Oh my God. She has her beautiful children. Oh my God. Nadia, Nathaniel, and Nicholas. And Nathaniel happens to be special needs.
Yes.
So I need you to tell me, like, first of all, how did you feel when you were pregnant? Because I know you tried for a very long time. You wanted to sort of fill that family and that home that you created with your husband.
Right. It was a hard road.
Right.
A hard road. Because like most couples, they try, nothing happens. So, and I only wanted to be pregnant one time. I only wanted to experience that one time. I could not
Let me
see.
knock him out all at one
He's
time.
stretching my body out. I couldn't see it.
Right.
I couldn't see it. So we had a miscarriage. We had an ectopic pregnancy. And that was like the hardest thing that I had to go through because it almost took my life.
Wow.
I was in the hospital. I went just a checkup, and they told me that I couldn't go home.
Wow.
They was like, "I'm sorry, Miss Carr, we can't let you go. Your baby is in your tube, and if you leave here, it can explode and you could die right on the spot." I've never in my life anyone tell me that I could die right there on the spot. That right there, just like, what?
Wow.
What are you
So wait,
talking
you
about?
just weren't feeling well when you went to the doctor? Like,
No, that was a routine
checkup. It was a routine checkup. So you had no idea.
No idea. I had some pain
Okay.
every now and then, but this is being my first pregnancy. Wasn't quite sure. Maybe thought it was growing pains.
Yeah.
But after that, and they told me that I couldn't leave the hospital.
Wow.
I could die at any moment. That was the worst scare of my life. But then after that, I survived that. It made me stronger.
Yes.
I then said to myself, I cannot do this. I'm not going to risk my life doing that again.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is do in vitro. As we all know, in vitro is a lot of money.
Yes.
So we went through it 1 year, one take, one and done.
And you was pregnant.
And I was pregnant.
And you immediately knew that you were having 3 triplets? Wow.
I knew that I was pregnant because of the way my body had changed.
Right.
And then when I went back, like 3 months after the in vitro,
Mhm.
that's when she told me. But I told her, I'm not going home to tell him that. No.
Well,
Our next visit.
I know. Yeah, he's gonna wait. And you're gonna tell him. Oh, that is so funny. Well, speaking of that, knowing that you created, this world. Now you're happy. You're pregnant. You're glowing. You got a home now. You just bought a home, I think, out on an island, and you're with your honey. How was that relationship then when you were going through all of that?
Oh, it was. I can actually say it was a dream. It was like a dream. I mean, LaShawn, you came by.
Yes.
My husband my ex-husband started working, traveling, and I was home left alone a lot of the time. But that didn't stop me. I was a mother. I had to do what I had to do. My children was here. No one is going to take care of them like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I put my big girl hat on and I did what I needed to do.
Yeah.
I took care of the house.
Yes,
I took care of him. I mean, he stayed away 2 weeks at a time, a week at a time. He was like a part-time dad because by the time he came home, the kids, they didn't want for anything. They knew what they needed to do.
Yeah.
I had them in a structure where they did not have to ask or want for anything. They knew what they had to do.
Yeah.
Until this day, they're still like that.
Exactly. No, you did. You definitely created that structure in their lives. I say with military precision, my friends, because you tackled everything with purpose. You know what I mean? And you never asked or even waited for someone to complete or help you with anything. If you knew it had to get done, you made sure you did it, even down to stuff that I feel like a man should do. And I know I probably shouldn't be saying that, but so serious, like stuff that I would be like, so what you doing today? Well, I asked Richie, so I asked my husband to do this, that, and the third. And unfortunately, it didn't get done in the time that I needed it to get done. So I did it myself. And this is moving furniture.
Yeah.
This is breaking down a whole house, rebuilding a whole portion in your home. Like the things that I thought, we should at least allow that man figure in our home to sort of take over and handle. You just was like, I need to get it done, and it's going to get done when I need it. And I love that about you. It used to scare me a little bit because I was like, is that expected of me? You know what I mean? But the fact that you did it and you created this world that you are self-sufficient, you know what I mean? Even after that is what I think is why it was so important. You know what I mean? You didn't rely on someone else to do those things for you. So therefore, if you had to do without them, it wasn't going to hinder you from getting it done and moving forward. So I love that.
Yeah.
So now you're raising these kids, and again, a child with special needs as well, in addition to these 2 rambunctious twins that you have running around. What was your feelings then, dealing with that, this newfound motherhood, and then also having to adjust to this new schedule that your husband had, because your ex-husband, because he was always home, he was working, locally, same job, but not traveling. So how did you adjust to this new normal?
Me being the person that I am, it was kind of easy for me to adjust because the person that I am, if you are not by my side to get it done right then and there, I'm going to do it without you.
Yeah.
So when he was gone, I got so much things done.
Yeah.
When he came home, he was like, you paint the kitchen?
Exactly.
You painted the living room and the dining room? You moved furniture out?
Yes.
I could not
with
just
triplets
sit there and wait for him to come home to do it.
Yeah.
My father raised us to be independent women. He taught us to use tools, how to make things, because he was a carpenter. So we learned from him, and I kept that. So there was nothing that I couldn't do Yeah. Because you was there. So that kind of made my life a little easier.
It
So,
did.
when then I see that he was kind of getting in his feelings
Uh-huh.
about me always doing stuff. But when I asked you,
Yeah. Yeah.
why couldn't you just do it?
Exactly.
You already know the type of woman you have.
Yeah.
So if I need to ask you twice,
Mm-hmm.
that third time I'm doing it.
Exactly.
And it's going to be better
Than
than
what exactly than whatever
So-
work you would have put into it. I get that.
Exactly.
Well,
So-
how did that change? Because again, he was this supportive husband and this husband that was just always part of your space and helping you in anything that you need. When did that kind of change? Was it when you when you had the kids that
I would say it changed when the kids became, I would say, around 7.
7? Okay. All right.
It's always that 7-year itch.
Okay. So around 7 years old, you did start noticing some type of change. And how did you did you express to him that you noticed? You
Yes,
did. Okay.
I expressed to him that there's something going on, everything. No, it's not. It's your imagination. It's always our imagination.
Mm.
Women, that is always the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
It's our imagination.
Yeah.
But the one thing I did not understand was how this man that I loved so much turned into a narcissist
Yeah.
right in front of my face.
Yeah.
And I had no clue.
Yeah. Well, what kind of life was you trying to build for him? Because I feel in my own, mind that sometimes it's what we give that allows them to feel entitled to how they treat you. You know what
I
I
was
mean?
actually trying to make his life easier.
Yeah.
So when he came off the road, there was no reason for you to have to do anything
Yeah.
because the house was set.
Yeah. Yeah.
The kids, they were doing their own thing. They had their own
Yes.
thing in the backyard.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. All you had to do is
House
come
was
home.
always immaculate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All you had to do is come home and relax.
Yes.
He used to get upset because the kids would bypass him and say, "Mommy, can I have something to drink? Mommy, can I have this? Mommy, can I?" You see me sitting right here. Don't yell at them.
Yeah.
They're not used to you being here.
Yeah.
They're children.
Yeah.
They're going to go to the first person that is always there.
Yeah. No.
And
I get
that's
that.
Mommy.
Yeah. Well, knowing that you saw that and knowing that they did probably need a connection with him. Did he try to sort of build those connections with them?
I thought he was truly trying.
Okay.
But then I found out every time I left the house, there was something different.
Right. I see.
And I did not know all the things that were going on with him and my children until after everything blew up.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Knowing that you saw a difference in him, did you at all notice a difference in yourself? Were you still sort of seeking that life that
No.
you weren't? So you did know that there was a shift.
Mm-hmm.
And where were you then at that 7-year itch?
At that 7-year itch, I was more like shocked because I couldn't realize or understand what was he wanting. He was getting everything he could actually want as a man. You coming home to a clean house. You coming home to food. You coming home to well-behaved children.
Yes. Yeah.
What more did you want? You had a wife that loved you, would do anything for you. What else did you want?
Yeah, but what about what you wanted at that time? What did you see? Were you receiving what you wanted? Forget about how he was.
No, I wasn't.
So that's what I
and I
know.
put myself on the back burner.
Yeah.
Because after I brought these 3 little people in this world, I had to put myself on the back burner because my focus now was them.
Yeah.
These children didn't ask to be here. I wanted them here.
Yeah.
And everything in my being was telling me to make sure you raise your children correctly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't depend on anyone else to take care of them. Don't depend on the father to take care of them. Because once he realized that we had a special needs child and it was going to take a lot more of us,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I seen he dropped out.
Yeah, yeah. Because I guess that picture or dream that he had, he probably didn't see it anymore either. You know what I mean? In his own little way.
But the thing about it, it wasn't stopping
It's
us.
exactly. And that's what's important to see here, is that it still didn't stop you. I'm telling you, you had that house ran so well, far better than people with one child in their home. So that is why I ask you that. Like, were you even happy at that time? Because in the midst of you creating this world for everyone else to be happy and everyone else to be satisfied,
I wasn't.
were you feeling that at the same time?
I wasn't happy. There was plenty of times I went in the closet and just cried.
Yeah.
I mean, I boo-hoo cried.
Yeah.
Because there was something inside of me that was not satisfied.
Yeah.
But at this time, I'm married.
Yeah.
So with looking at my parents till death do them part,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and my main thing was, we will stay married as long as you do not step outside this marriage.
Right.
I would stay married to you.
You would do that even if you were unfulfilled.
If he did not step outside that marriage,
Mm-hmm.
I probably would still been married. But then I thought about it, because when I said, what woman is going to stay in a marriage and she's not happy?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing it for the kids, because my kids are happy.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I need to be happy.
That's right. That's right.
So I sat and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I said to myself, is this what you really want? And when they say love is blind,
Mm-hmm.
it is so correct.
Yeah.
It is so true.
Yes.
That love is blind. I love this man so much that I could not see the stuff that he was doing, because I was blinded by the love.
And trying to keep this idea of what your life was supposed to be together. And you was doing that so well. When I tell you guys that you literally were, from the outside, that couple to be, I think they have Barack Obama and Michelle. Yes, it was that couple, that everybody, because we saw the connection, we saw the love, we saw the commitment, we saw just the family that was just so well taken care of, and largely because of a lot of what you were doing to facilitate that. So unfortunately, as you heard, he stepped outside of the marriage, and I'm mad that I mentioned the man's name, but he stepped outside of the marriage, and she had to realize some hard truths.
Yes.
So when you, not going deep into the story about the how, when, what, where, and all of that, but when you finally did become aware of it, let's be honest, and what was your initial reaction and feeling?
Actually, I was so blinded in love that I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So he was away one week, and he had started a very bad rumor about me. And I couldn't believe it, because this is the man that's supposed to have loved me, and my husband. And you would never expect your husband to go and start a rumor about his wife.
Yeah.
So when I caught the rumor, at that point in time, I sat down to myself and I said, I'm done. I can't do this no more. Because I'm not only hurting myself now, I'm hurting my kids.
Yeah.
Because seeing the things that he used to do with them, to them, it was hurting me, and it was hurting them. So I had to let it go. So I said, you know what? Okay. And God was telling me, he was telling me that I wouldn't listen. He kept showing me different signs of him not being true. Look for this, look for that, look at this, look at that. But I was not ready.
Yeah.
And then after I wrote him a 3-page letter, explaining to him that I wanted divorce.
Wow.
I could not do this anymore.
Was this
I'm
before or
done.
after he confessed?
This was before.
This was even
This was the
before.
only reason why he confessed
Oh, okay.
is because I had
Alright.
already said I'm done.
So you had already figured out that it was your time.
Yep.
Because of what you were feeling and experiencing
And
at
seeing
that
what
time.
my kids were feeling and what they spoke to me about.
Yeah.
All the things that I didn't know about what he was doing and saying to him. I couldn't put them through that.
You finally realized that you had to make yourself
Yes.
happy.
I said,
And I love that. And that
I'm
was
done.
even before actually what you said, because you said you made a pact that the only reason I'm ever going to leave this marriage is if. And you had no knowledge of
and
it
I
at
even
that
told
time.
him that on our wedding day.
Wow.
I said the only thing that could break us if you step out.
Yeah. But you, before that even was realized,
And
determined.
I still couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, but you determined even before that was actually brought to light that it was your happiness that was also more important as well. And it takes time for us to realize that, you know, as you said, love is blind. And we will go through a lot of things and a lot of hurt and a lot of pain before we actually realize what we really truly deserve and what our actual worth is, even in the midst of this relationship that we hold so dear and so true. Because the changes, it's about growth. You're supposed to grow together. You're supposed to change together. You're now this mother. Now you become this father. We're now parents. Let's become these great parents together. You shouldn't have to rely on the other mate to fill more of that space and that
void,
love and void within you that you won't allow and give to them. And that's what I feel was sort of transitioning in your life, because you were still trying to fill those holes and those plugs, even when you were not happy and you knew that this wasn't the life that was fulfilling and joyful for you. So now he's copping a plea. He wants you back, and you know, and obviously he's projecting. That's where the rumors came from.
That was once he bare his soul.
Yeah, like
I will take, because he's done bared his soul a couple of times.
Right.
So he figured, you know, okay, so she forgive me for all other stupid stuff that I did. She's gonna forgive me for this.
Yeah, I need you to love
but
me.
I'm not built like that.
Yeah,
I've never been built like that. If you make a commitment to me and you break that commitment, it is so hard for me to trust you.
Yeah, I get it. So I can't see that helped the situation, whereas he thought that maybe it would. If anything,
girl, you already know me.
I know.
So you
Oh my
already know.
God! If even it just fueled the fire even more, and you knew you had
fueling the fire.
I know.
Oh my gosh!
There was no.
I was so in shock.
Yeah.
All of the stuff that he told me, and I'm saying to myself,
how did
you not see this?
Yeah, because you were in love.
I was.
And you were trying to just maintain that family structure, that dream that you said that you had when you were younger. I'm not going to have any kids out of wedlock. I'm not going to be in an unstable, insecure relationship. And you wanted to make sure that you gave him no reason to want to step out and do these things that he ended up doing anyway, by creating this home that was so safe and so organized and so well put together. So that's why I asked you, like, at that moment, because a lot of women are in denial. I need to know, you know, what were the stages of what you went through? Because I know that he obviously was not wanting to believe that you were standing strong in your stance.
Oh yeah, because that was his main thing. I'm out there cheating.
Yeah,
he cannot believe
that
I am home taking care of 3 children. But running the street.
That was guilt.
Exactly.
It was his guilt and him trying to create his own narrative to justify why he did what he did. And I think that's a lot of stories out there with women in relationships and dealing with specifically narcissistic type of men. It is going, they flip the script and they gaslight you, and they do all of these things to make you believe that you're the problem and the reason for their deception.
What they did.
Exactly. So after you went through that initial, like, oh my God, I can't believe that I didn't see that. Then did you start seeing it and was like, okay, like
once he told me all the stuff that he did, that was enough for me. He went away 2 days later. I went to Big Lots, bought plastic bins, packed up everything that he owned. I gave him everything in that house that belonged to that man, including wedding photos, pictures of me, him, and the kids. Anything that looked like he connect to us was packed up.
Oh my God.
And sent him a picture and told him, this is what happens to men who cheats on their wife. When you get home, you come get your stuff out my garage and you get out my house.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm even impressed with that because it takes a lot of women a long time to get to that point.
I prayed
and
on
I feel,
it.
Yeah, see? So tell me about
Ooh,
that moment.
Lord,
That's what I needed.
I prayed and I prayed. When he first initially told me, I prayed to God to please just take him out of my heart. I don't want him there anymore. And I know you don't want him there anymore because of what he did to a gift that you gave him.
Yeah.
And honestly, once that prayer was answered and I was free of that man to go on with my life, I can honestly say I am the happiest I have ever been.
I could imagine.
It was like a cold 360.
I love it.
Because it was no reason for me to be depressed for a long period of time. I cried it out like any woman would.
Yeah.
We're going to go through these emotions. But what we have to learn is that men don't control us. We control ourselves. And we allow a man to do something, he's going to keep doing it. If we put our foot down and say, I'm not going to allow you to do that to me. I'm stronger than that. He won't do it because he knows that you're not going to allow it and you will walk away. See, he didn't expect me to walk away.
Well, yeah, you've always been a very strong woman.
And I was always by his side.
Yeah. But can I ask you, once you finally decided that it was over and you said you felt the most amazing peace within yourself, that you finally removed that love that you had for someone who didn't love you the same in return out of your heart. Tell me about that feeling, that spiritual, emotional.
It was such an eye opener. It was just like a weight lifted off my shoulder. I literally wanted to do the Angela Bassett. I no lie. I truly wanted to do the Angela Bassett because before I dropped on my knees and prayed for God to take that from me, I was thinking about going in that garage, taking everything out, taking it to the backyard, to the barbecue pit, and burn everything.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it. That's not good for me.
Yeah.
That's just something the devil wants me to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I had to say, you know what, God, just take him. Take him out of my life.
I love it.
I don't need this.
Did you see, even in the years that you guys were together, it was 35 years you guys were together, 25 you were married. In that 25 years, at any time, did you feel that, you know what, maybe this really isn't the relationship I need to be in? Okay, so there were
signs. There were definitely times
that you did.
He just went off the rail, and I knew then that this is not the man that I met. So within those years, he was becoming a narcissist. But I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, I get it.
So I didn't know what to look for.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking he's frustrated with his
out,
job.
exactly.
He's stressed out,
Got bills, life, everything else. Yeah.
Exactly. So as a black man, they carry a lot of weight on their shoulders. And as a black woman, we supposed to alleviate some of that weight. So I didn't know what to actually think until he read that letter and he comes to me and he goes, I read your letter. And I said, I meant every word. And then God was putting something in my ear. And this was the first time I actually heard him clearly saying, ask him if he cheated. Ask him. That was the only question that kept coming on in my head. And I was not thinking about that. I opened my mouth and that's what came out.
Wow.
Did you cheat? He put his head down. oh, now we got to fight.
Yeah, we got a conversation. Yeah, now the truth is coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
So
it.
now you want to spill your guts to make you feel better
Mm-hmm.
while crushing me.
Yeah.
No.
Was there a sense of relief though at that time, because it was almost like the question was now answered, the riddle was now answered?
It was a relief in a way, but it was heartbreaking
Yeah,
because this is the man that I expected to grow old with.
yeah,
This was the man, this was the father of my children. This is the person that they looked up to
yeah.
until it got to the point where they could no longer look up to him.
Yeah, and that's important too, because you don't want to stay in a relationship that is not serving your children either.
Exactly.
You don't want them to think or believe that the structure and the energy in your home is what it's like to be in a true loving family. And so you needed to also separate yourself from that, so that they can see, that there is a better way to express your emotions, a better way to live, a better way to be happy, and that you can choose those things. So now that you finally decided it's over and you're moving on, because time is winding down, I need to know, how did you get past it? I know that you said that you cried and you had your moments and you prayed to God. I know that you were connected. You wrote your book. So that's
when love goes wrong.
Yes. So tell us about your book. I know we don't have the information on it now, but she's definitely putting it together. Tell me about the book.
That was actually the only thing that actually got me through it, because I was able to put pain on paper to release it. And ladies, if you're stuck in a relationship and you have no way out, put it on paper. Release that pain, because it will eat you up.
Yeah. And you get to see it too. Like, you got to actually see the pain on paper, so that you can now see what you were going through. Not just feeling it, because when we feel it, we compartmentalize the pain, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, it doesn't feel so bad today, it'll be okay tomorrow.
It'll pass.
Exactly. But once you see it and you're reading it and you're saying to yourself, this is my life, this is what I'm going through at this moment, this is what's happening to me, and you have the choice to change it, I think is so monumental and is so important. So you poured yourself into this book. Tell us what you saw in that book that brought you through it and to where you are right now.
Okay, the beginning, from our beginning, from where we met, when we worked together, to the time we spent together, to all the crazy things that we did together as a couple, to leading up to us having children, buying our first home, and then everything blowing up.
Did you speak in that book about the things that you've missed during that time? Did you sort of, rehash some of the moments?
Yes.
Okay.
I rehashed a lot of the moments. I mean, a lot of it went into details of our life, on how in love we were and everything that we did together. And also everything after the children were born, and all the way up to his infidelity.
Right.
And then beyond.
Right.
And also to where I met, well, not met, but reconnected
with your new
to
love.
my baby now, because I've known him since I was 14.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
And
so the book just speaks to the story.
Right.
It speaks to the story of what actually happened.
That I actually went through, that I had to actually put it on paper in order to release it
and to get past it. Yeah, no, I believe that,
because now I can listen to songs that we used to love together
without feeling a thing.
Don't even face
it. You had to find that inner peace from within by, as I mentioned earlier, in transforming your life. You had to push past that pain. You know what I mean? In addition to those challenges and obstacles, everything that you went through in that marriage, you had to use that as lessons to fuel you. Those things are things that you now own, and that is your truth. And you can embrace those things because it makes you stronger for the next chapter in your life. And then most importantly is push past the fear, because now you are able to accept real love. You're able to accept who you truly are. And you also are able to just accomplish all of those dreams. You can still be a flight attendant, my friend. All those dreams that you put, I know, but put on the back burner that you was unable to accomplish because this world happened to you. You know what I'm saying? So I love that. It was a transformation of sorts. And it's your story. It's your my evolution, me growing into this person, because you could have also been that woman that stayed in that marriage, that dealt with the infidelities, thought he was never going to do it again, believe that he was sorry, thinking that it was going to get better, and the cycle just continues. And you would always be that woman trusting in a fantasy. You know what I'm saying? So you had to snap out of that by finding that strength within you. And also just the desire for you to be happy, which is important, because that's what I think we don't seek, is our desire to be truly happy. We misconstrue the happiness of everyone else to be our happiness, because we're taking care of them, because we're doing these things for them, because we're making sure everything is in its place for them. They're happy, so I should be happy.
Exactly.
And that's not the way it is.
And most women don't see it as, they're so scared to leave because their man holding money over their head. They're not making money, so they're scared. They feel that they're stuck. At that point, when I left him, I wasn't making no real money either. Trust and believe, because he was paying all the bills. He was doing everything. But I couldn't be afraid to step out. Because once I did, and I prayed and I said, Lord, I'm putting faith in you. You guide me from this point. After I divorced, I got a car. Matter of fact, I got 2 cars.
Yes, she did.
Yes, I did. I got a new
Supervisor
job.
at a job.
I got a promotion.
Yep.
So it's not, we can't be scared to step out. Because what's holding us back is us. We can't hold ourselves back, because all that's going to do is just make us unhappy. And life is too short to be unhappy. I've learned that the hard way.
Yes, I've said that so many times, my friends. It is so precious. Life is short, but it is more precious. And for us to spend time not living in the fullness of who we're supposed to be, and sharing that with everyone else around us, instead of figuring out a way to explain to them why you're not completely full and why you should just muster up whatever pain you're going through, is a total disservice to everyone. So I'm so glad that you pushed past that pain. Tell us, before we go, how are you feeling now? Like, after you've gone through that transition, and it's only been a few years, where are you now? How do you feel, and where do you see yourself in the coming future?
Well, now I am happy. I am with
your mate,
my mate, and he's great with my special needs child. I mean, when I say he spends more time with him than he spends with me.
That's beautiful.
And that's a good thing.
And
I don't mind it, because he makes sure that he's taken care of.
I love
so
that.
I have no problem with that. And my kids are grown now. They're 23. They help me out. I don't have to ask, Mommy, do you, I need money. No, they give me money. They pay a bill. They put food in the house. I have no problems with that.
It's because of the structure that you put into their lives, and also that independence as well. And and they'd have no problem helping Mommy, because Mommy took care of us, and they see it. Well, we're about to wind down here, my friend. I want to thank you so much for being here. You have been amazing. What would you like to share with the young ladies out there, women that are going through changes right now and are just fearful of stepping into their truth?
Ladies, sit back and think about it. Is this really, truly what is right for you? because not everybody in your life is right for you.
Mhm.
I mean, I spent 35 years of my life with the wrong person.
Mhm.
But, you know, we live and we learn.
Yeah.
Think about it. Don't be scared to say, I don't think this man is right for me. Just because you have kids, don't mean he's not right. He's right for you.
Mhm.
Just think about it. Put yourself first. Because if you're not happy, your kids will never be happy. Your family would never be happy. So make yourself happy first. Make sure that you have stability in your life, not just for your kids, but for you.
Yes.
Take time out for you
Yes.
because no one else is going to do it. So we have to do it for ourselves.
Yeah, I agree. And I love that you said that. We can't be anything to anyone until we are good to ourselves.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being here, Yvonne. I love you so much, girl. You are coming back because I'm sure it's going to be more to tell.
Yes.
But, so we're going to get real quick to the Dare to Be You. And the Dare to Be You is: transformation is a process. And as life happens, there are tons of ups and downs. It is a journey of discovery. And that's what you have done, my friend. You have transformed your life and you have discovered the new and improved, because you were already amazing, but the new and improved Yvonne Carr, who is all about not just satisfying everyone else and making sure they're good, but also making sure you're satisfied, you're fulfilled, and that you're good. And that's what's really important for each and every last one of us. We have to be good to ourselves. We have to see ourselves changing, growing, and evolving into these amazing women as well as men, but these amazing women that we were created to be. We are not supposed to play second fiddle. We are not supposed to make sacrifices that do not serve our ultimate purpose. So please go out there and transform your life. We want to talk about the me in my evolution and how we were able to grow and transform our lives into the magnificent, phenomenal people that we can be. So I like to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Your Our Unity. I like to thank my beautiful guest, Yvonne Carr, the strength of a beautiful woman that you are. I like to also wish all of you out there just peace and love. I really, really do. Remember that peace and love is in the palm of our hands. So because of everything that's going on in this world today, let's make sure that we go out there and spread some love. Let's be some love, and let's please give some love, no matter where you are or where you're from. I want to see you next week on another episode on Your Our Unity. Remember that I love you, and I want you to have a good night. Say good night, Yvonne.
Good night.
See you guys later.
Strong Island Entertainment.